well means that they've got the double flash meta to come through from Order on this map and the double duelists. It's always an interesting thing to come on through, you know, tending toward our regions. They really follow in through with the double duelists, where my sort of playstyle that I love to observe in this game is your sort of one duelist and you edge more on the side of your flashing and your maneuverability with those agents and everything. So bringing it forward, we got the pistol round, and this is an early little bit of a lean for Order over to the B side.
Yep, very aggressive. Nice and happy to sort of sit in towards Hookah. Still waiting to see if there will be any sort of aggression thrown out. And I like this approach from Wildcard. You know, they're sort of ready, thinking that Order might throw something at them early, but it's always going to be that sort of challenge to overcome the Hookah positioning, right? You know, having both Disco and Autumn inside that location, it can be so hard to overwhelm. And obviously having a little bit of a weaker run, it does mean that they're going to sort of walk up to see Texter and find if they can spot anything out early.
And of course, we've seen no real budging from Order over on the B side at the moment as RDW puts down the toxic screen. It might bring over a rotation from the likes of Disco if they need to, who currently is poised in towards Hookah. You got Autumn there as well, looking to just be sneaky beaky in the corner. Bucks eventually falling back as Wildcard, starting to slant back over towards this B side.
It's interesting that they are still going towards it. Just happy to sort of leave that one rotator of RDW inside the short position. Disco's going to get the paint shells out early. Might force Nin and back. It's going to be a little awkward. Early engagement. There is the heal, of course, to come across from Swirl if he does choose to throw out that overgrowth. But now Disco, he's going to hop out almost, and I think this is going to be a real tough one. RDW has been spotted. The guiding lights come in, but there we go. Autumn, we know he's good at these frags, but Swirl, he's picked up 2. Disco will get the trade, and it's back to a 3-on-2 here.
Enemy remaining.
Yeah, but that's sharp shots come through from Tux. The trade on out Noz now into 1 versus 2. The Spike in possession, at least able to get this one down, but he's going to stick it in amongst the fault line, which means he's a little bit disoriented at the moment. No stars to speak of either, Mitch. Does mean that he's going to be all on toward this pistol. He's now been seen in amongst the tube as well. This disconnected duel has to work wonders for Noz. The peek on down from Disco. The jump attempt, 3 HP. Can he get it done? He needs some right clicks, but no. It's going to be Disco to close it and get the defuse.
A little bit unlucky there that he did go for the jump right click, but it didn't pay off for him. In the end, it's going to be Order taking a nice little defusal. But yeah, look, again, it's always that force into Hookah, right? Such a challenge facing up against Autumn, and it was only really just off the back of a good couple of shots from Swirl. But very well done. Nice and poised from Order. You know, buying a bit more of a defending sided map, but given the control that, you know, we've seen Order throw out even on the attacking side. But still, first round, it's all done. Business as usual. They're going to be just going in with a couple of sheriffs, so they've got enough money to at least afford that. And I'm seeing actually, okay, a Bucky come out from Order.
We saw this yesterday as well a little bit, getting the Bucky coming on through, seeing what damage can be delivered. You just want to see in this circumstance Wildcard not over-purchase. They got the plant, they got 3 kills in the last round. They need to make sure that they've got everything they need coming into the next round. They need to make sure that Noz is getting out all of those 5 stars as well, just to make sure that he's got those refreshes of the smokes of the gravity well as well.
I'm nice and close. Loving this from Autumn. It's going to be tough to overwhelm him. Flashpoint out, does get the info, so at least gathering that one. Throw the Cloudburst out. Try to sort of break some of the distance. Swirl might be on the line. Great flash up as well. Oh, the team use of this breach on the bind. It's so beautiful to see. Texas picked up Ninum in the process. So really it should just be, you know, once again, Wildcard trying to find some extra damage. The Sheriffs haven't been able to be put to good use so far. So once again, just sort of business as usual really in a round like this.
Oh, well, going in with the Bucky a little bit more. Autumn will be able to find 3. Signed gets a headshot with that Marshall onto RDW, and it's always just brilliant to see how Signed has the impact on this roster with these guys as well, you know? You'll never see him kind of just by himself. He's always going to be around about his teammates, ready to set up the utility at the perfect position, and he's just a nuisance when it comes on through. And having Signed on one side of the map and Tux on the other side with 3 flashes both available, it can be that big nuisance that Wildcard are going to have to figure out early how to counteract.
So what do they do in this round now? Playing into that bonus. Autumn's obviously going to have to play it a little bit more aggressive, and it looks like he will, getting into the showers nice and early alongside Signed. Tux with the early guiding light. Should have gathered some information off the back of that one, but it's going to be Artie once again on that lurk. This time joining him will be Swirl and Spike down very early on. So it looks like they aren't going to try and sort of overstep into this bonus. Tux spotted out very early on, and some real good damage to force him back early from long.
The problem that I saw in the beginning of this round as well is that Wildcard did actually overpurchase, like I said a little bit. They've got 2 players down on toward the light shields at the moment, which makes them quite vulnerable to the Spectre, to the Bucky, even to the Sheriff that is still coming on through. It's just the case that they need to be tracking themselves going on forward when they do go into a new pistol round. But that's a good guiding light to come out with some info.
Is going to fall away as well. Good utilization of the Cloudburst once more. Just sort of really repositioning, not trying to sort of force the narrative too hard. Did have a good position, but unfortunately unable to take it. So it does look like now we're going to see Wildcard sort of send their way back. Nothing spotted from the Trailblazer, but they're going to be poised actually to hit towards this B side. And at this point in time, if they can overwhelm Disco, it should be a pretty good run because that means Tux is now out of birds as well.
Out of birds, out of Hawks, but still has the heals available if required. We can say the same for Swirl, but he's quite low, so he has to be really careful on how he's going to attack from now. The big lean for Order over to the other side of the map, however, makes things more interesting for Wildcard to be able to gain this one a little bit easier.
And it's nice and sort of slow, working it smart. Guiding light into Hookah, we'll be able to gather that information. Swirl sort of sitting onto the other side. RDW, RDW! Oh, this is beautiful. Love to see it. Swirl's going to be able to pick up one as well. But again, it's just the bonus. So still some reasonable damage thrown back by Sign, but very clean. I love how smart Wildcard approached that round because now they need to be fully prepared. They needed to make sure they didn't lose any rifles there, only dropping the one because Order's going to be moving in. And Autumn, he's got the operator in hand.
He's also got the Blaze Storm. You're looking toward the ultimate territory right now, the realm of which Noz and Infrequent, two away from their impactful ultimates as well. You come to see Cosmic Divides utilized quite nicely on a map such as Bind, Hunter's Fury as well for post-plant if Infrequent wants to, and then you're kind of looking down a little bit. When is RDW going to be getting out that Viper's Pit as well, just to be a deterrent from Order in a retake scenario? But here we go. The Seekers to Swirl. I wonder, are we going to use them in this round? And the ambition from Autumn, we see this time and time again. It's expected.
He's ready.
He's actually getting decapitated.
That's huge from Ninham this time round. You know, clearly apparent that it was going to be sort of some form of aggressive play early from Autumn, and that's going to be the early punishment that they sort of need. Good damage back from Sign, though, Infrequent. Going to be able to live on for a little while longer, but still an engagement that's not always the wanted position. Looking to head back, picking up that spike now, but with one member already being taken down towards B, it's going to make it a little bit awkward for Order so far.
And usually in a situation like this, you would see some ambition from the team who has a player down as well. You would see them get a little bit more hungry for a trade frag, and you can see that Disco's pushing up through towards short. You can see the Trailblazer being going on down. So the fundamentals for Order here in this round already. As Seekers get brought on out, Disco gets caught with Util, and now it should be smooth sailing for Wildcard.
Two of the biggest carries down early on in this round, in the first buy round as well, Dion. So that's just going to be them fanging it straight up in towards this site. But look at the positioning from Texter. He's actually chosen to fall away, which is quite wise. And this could just be an immediate save to come out, Dion. And I don't blame Order one bit.
Yeah, the money situation going in toward the next round as well. They can ask for some drops. They can make sure that they've got what they need into it. Autumn still blades as well, which means that he can kind of pad a little bit of his own economy going on forward. He doesn't need to over-purchase in toward the next round. Disco might look to see a drop come over into him, make sure they get their utility coming on through. But it does mean we're going to be tied up here. And if Wildcard can hold on to this round flawlessly as well, they won't be giving any more ult charges over towards Order.
RDW is looking for the hunt too. May actually be able to find Sign here, which would be a little awkward. Has the info, surely he's going to be able to hear the footsteps in just a second. Maybe not. Maybe it's not deep enough. No. So well found from RDW. It's actually going to put a bit of an awkward one because when you've got 3 rifles to drag on to the next, usually it's a bit easy to drop over 2. But now with just the 2, one player is going to be lacking in some sort of element. Yeah, sure, Autumn does have the blades, but the money's still not fantastic.
And you can see with this as well, 1,300 and about 1,100 for Texter there. There's nothing that can be dropped over towards Sign. He's got to contemplate, go down onto the lighter shields. And then what do you get? A Guardian, still got to get those flashes out. And the Aftershock, I believe he still has translating over from the previous round. You know that Autumn's going to be bringing out the blades in this one. So it is that big decision for Order. What do they put for the investment on Sign here? It's actually going to be bringing out the Judge. And I don't blame him. We know how impactful this weapon can be. It's got to be poised in towards the Hookah area, which actually can be a big deterrent if Wildcard do sleep that one out.
But look at how passive they're approaching this start. Wildcard sitting all the way back into that spawn area, watching every single location. You know, they've done their research here. They know exactly how a team like Order plays this one. And, you know, obviously picking up those 2 early rounds on the attacking side. And if they get this one, that's an economy break. You know, they can really push it forward, maybe pick up 3, 4, sort of 5 rounds before Order can really sort of pick up the trail. And I love it. Such a nice approach from Wildcard.
And I like this honesty from Wildcard as well. You know, they're not just trying to be the bully in the round over towards Order. They're not just trying to absolutely force them on back into submission. They're still making sure they've got all of their beginning stages of the round exercised quite nicely. The first engagement, it doesn't really find any frags as yet, but there's a little bit of a how do you do.
Yep, bit of a duel. In the end, both players get tickled up a little bit, looking like they are going to start to march their way up towards this short position. rotate from Autumn slowly but surely. We'll be heading there in just a second. So I guess the more equipped weaponry is going to be heading towards that position. You know how good Autumn can actually be. We'll be looking up towards the top, but Swirl does actually manage to find Disco in the process as well. The dash on the way back as well is going to be able to utilize the overgrowth to get the heal back in. It's going to be Texter, the guy that has to be Mr. Impact in this position, Dion. But with that Viper spin down, it's going to be awkward.
I was a little bit surprised that Order didn't rotate over earlier as well. They sent the Trailblazer down through long from Tux to gather all the information, and then Autumn started to rotate on over. Those Swirl going a bit nuclear in this round, already on for 3, looking to lay down the law. He needs to find, though, his counterpart Sky in Tux, and then where Awesome is as well. Bit of a tag to come out through on that Owl drone, and now he's going to be in for the hunt. Unfortunately, Swirl can't heal himself, but you know that regardless of what HP he's on, he's still going to be sharp for something in the round. Noz finds Autumn, and now it's just onto Tux. Regardless of how this round outcomes, he's going to get those Seekers, and unfortunately, Mitch, it's on the death. No impact from him, really.
What a shutout. That was so clean. You know, Swirl in with the entry. Obviously, they utilize the dash in as well from Ninum, and able to sort of, you know, bring him back in, get the heal off, and that's going to force them into a timeout immediately. But I guess this is a good position to actually have a bit of a conversation, right? You know, they understand how it's going, what's working out for them. But man, like, this is such an explosive start for Wildcard. And if we're going to be seeing this form in the rest of the series, I would be a little bit scared if I was Order.
Yeah, I heard from Noz yesterday in the interview as well that when Wildcard did best them in the BO3, that they were absolutely ecstatic. They were screaming everything every which way. I remember the play that came through on the B site of Ascent where Swirl got dinked through the Hawk, but he still managed to find the kill through the wall over where the switch is on B site. Noz said that at that moment, everything, all of the comms just went haywire and they couldn't figure out exactly what was happening. But Wildcard take that victory here. They've carried over the momentum, it would seem, from yesterday straight in toward this game. And Mitch, a timeout being brought out in the 5th round for Order, that says something of what Wildcard have already thrown at them in this game.
As I said, man, huge statement, right? You know, this could potentially, and I can't sell it fast, right? Order are the kind of team that they've been in this position before. They've been at the disadvantage, but they can still turn it around with some sort of crazy 3-1 position or 3-0 even. You know, we've seen that from them in the past. However, in this grand final, this could potentially be the first time where they actually lose one of these big events, you know, whether it be Nova, whether it be how they've been performing in Rising Heroes, other events of obviously the Valorant Oceanic Tour. Order have just been dominant the second Sonics left this region. And if Wildcard can shut them out, just like they did yesterday, that's going to be such a statement.
And regardless of the outcome of this round for Wildcard as well, they're still going to have their economy. It's starting to hit up toward that 9K cap as well. For Order, they just have to take a knee here and make sure they can get their purchase in the next round, because if they don't, that's going to be the economical stress coming forward. Again, we might see a world in which Tux brings out the Seekers in this round if they get a kill or two, steal away a couple of weapons. But again, Wildcard, they're just being very passive.
Slowly creeping in now. Already that control of Hookah, but they don't want to overextend either. Guiding Light out. Don't think it actually gathered any information on the back of it. Maybe onto Autumn, depends. But he's just going to wait patiently. Spike actually heading its way over towards A now, Dion, as well. So once again, you know, it seems like Wildcard, they're not just sort of looking at the back of any information and just diving straight in. They're still seeing how they can approach it slowly, knowing that the experience of Order can overwhelm them potentially.
And immediately Noz is going to be bringing out the Cosmic Divide as well. Ninim starts off with a frag, but it's all a ruse at the moment with that TP. Noz has to get the spike over towards the B site, and you look at the rotation, as you mentioned, in Order, they had 3 players over towards that A site. Technically, it was 4 with that death that came in. Well, no, actually, that was over at the B site, rather. But this, it's a pistol round. Wildcard, they're still catching Order off guard.
This is incredible, man. You know, such confidence in their positional rotates and everything along those lines. Already the way through elbow. Ninum will be able to pick up another here. But it's just really another shutout. Obviously, again, can't really make too much out of this one, given the fact that it is only that eco, but it's completely flawless, minimal damage taken, and Wildcard, you know, basically taking this game out to a bit of a lead at a very early point. Swirl up on top, 9-2, looking clean on that Sky. But it's another buyback in. Autumn is going to be able to pick up the operator once more. Will Ninum be ready for him this time?
Well, the thing is, as well, you look toward Infrequent, one off the Hunter's Fury. You could see an Orb Bully over at the B site potentially, or in the showers if Wildcard want to explore over there. Lots of different avenues. You're looking at Texter and Sign as well, one off the Cosmic Divide. You saw how Noz used that impactfully in the previous round. You could see the same thing for Texter, and then that Rolling Thunder for Signed as well. A massive ultimate to push them off the spike to just gain a little bit of entry stoppage if Wildcard are looking to go with haste. There's lots of these different approaches that both teams can go with in this round, and as I did say it as well, it's going to be that Showers exploration for Wildcard. There's the Hunter's Fury.
Look at how ready Ninam is, though. He might actually even find Autumn here. No, not quite. Taps a couple of shots, but look at how much they actually had to use to get Autumn into that position. They had all of the members, Disco sitting up on the boxes, and just sort of making sure that even if he got out, he was able to get straight back out as well. But Autumn looking to reposition again, you know, not a man that shies away from any sort of aggression. Wow. Order walking down mid, and Texter taking matters into his own hands this time around. That's going to be the first time they've actually got an opening pick in the last couple of rounds.
Oh, and a leg onto Swirl as well with that operator. He can't heal himself as well on the back of that. So Order well in the driver's seat in this round, though. A big reveal onto Texter is going to be to his demise. The rotation now from Tux has to come back over towards this B site. Shock darts on through, and all these ultimates coming on out as well. There's the Seekers from Tux. We're looking for a plant here for Wildcard.
All the Seekers destroyed immediately, though, as well. So no information gathered by Tux. Looking to get that spike planted now. Still a 4 versus 4. It's going to be a tough one. They're all rotating in through towards that CT position. Up and close and personal will be Noz. Does have a no more stars actually available either, really utilizing this position. Onto the other side, using the Cloud Burst to get his way out. This is going to be an all-out brawl here, Dion.
Yeah, and the Hunter's Fury, remember, keep your eyes on that if it's going to be brought on through. There it is, as the showstopper comes on out. It's a one-to-one trade. Infrequent finds Disco. That's the rocket down. Tux, meanwhile, looking to get up close and personal in all of these trades. It's just going to be down to Infrequent. There's no shock darts available right now as well. You've got the safeguard in Tux to hold down the fort. 3 on the entries for this retake, and the defuse is here for Order.
That was so clean from Tux there, Dion. I don't know. He was one of the first to sort of get up towards that CT area, but he just waited. He utilized his ultimate and obviously the flashes as well to get his way out, but still waited for the team. Made sure he didn't force the way through, following Autumn with his tailwind, and that was there. Order getting straight back on the board here, getting that opening pick, and ultimately taking it straight back in. A little bit upsetting, I guess, for Wildcard, given the fact that they got overwhelmed a little bit after that post plant went down. But, man, this is going to be a hot and closely contested game all the way through.
Certainly is, by no stretch of the imagination. Right now, Order looking to tie things up on this defensive side. Usually comes to be the side that you see more of the rounds gathered on through. This is, again, aggression from Autumn. We see it time and time again. We saw him get damaged last time, got down by when he peeked out with the operator. But this time, Mitch, he actually converts it for the opener.
So that's going to be the Rolling Thunder immediately out here as well. Signed is doing so well to keep these members at bay right now. Texter just inside the Nebula. He's actually got the operator on his back as well. He's going to be able to pepper a little bit of damage. Getting back into the showers as well will be Swirl. Infrequent takes a bit of damage. Gathers some further info though. Tagged onto the other side of the showers as well. Swirl, his shaky aim, it's so erratic. It looks to make it so much more entertaining. But Autumn, he's going to pick up another one here as well as they swing around the side. Disco, going to be the first man to do it. Obviously connecting as well. RDW though, Infrequent from the corner. It's all onto Artie now. He's got some HP behind him. He's got some positioning, and both of these members are low, but exactly, that's going to be the overgrowth to come out as well, Dion, and that actually forces him back. Now it's a little bit awkward. Now they can move the unit, tie up, but it's going to be RDW to keep his composure, lining them up, and that will be 3 for him, 5 for Wildcard.
What was that, a 2 versus or a 3 versus 5 situation favoring Order in that one? Infrequent lines them all up, gives RDW the chance, posts him up on a pedestal to be able to win out this round, and the heals come out. You see it from Tux there, giving them over, but it just wasn't enough. They line up for RDW in the end to be able to find that no-tied scoreline, at the moment. Wildcard, they are 1 away from at least gathering a tie at this half, and you look at the economical damage again in this round. Order, they have to take a knee.
Oof. This has been such an explosive game already. A 2v5 in that position when Order really sort of, looked like they maybe were going to start to take the reins is incredible. But now it's going to be Ninam already up and towards that U-Haul position. Once again, signed with the flashpoint available.
Oh, look at
Judge
this
as well. It's going to be hard.
Immediate rotations coming through for Order as well. Tux the last soldier. Everybody's here for Order to see what they can do with the lesser weaponry. You want to see these flashpoints. You want to see these guiding lights used quite nicely from both sides right now, rather. There goes one from Swell, but the Ninam Judge is demoralizing. It's already found one. There's those blades as well, looking for more. He gets punished down. Autumn with these blades though, Mitch.
He's always been damaging, always punishing. Has to sort of throw a little bit of utility around though. It's making it very, very awkward. They've had him forced back up against the wall. And now on top, Wildcard, they break the economy. They force Order into some very, very uncomfortable positions. Actually, no, never mind. Not as bad as I was sort of thinking. We're going to be able to pull that one out now. The operator again for Autumn. It hasn't had the impact that we've been expecting just yet, but potentially.
Yeah, you see the lesser weaponry that Order purchased in the previous round as well to set them up for a purchase like this one. The Blade Storm utilized for Autumn in the last round, but you could just see Wildcard pretty much through the kitchen sink straight at him. They had the Gravity Well, they had the Snake Bite as well. He was not getting out of there by any means. 4 alive for Wildcard again, means they don't need to reinvest too much. Autumn, I feel like he might have given his hand over at this position as well. This is like the 3rd or 4th time he's gone for the stretch peek there. This time will be forced back, but RDW, he's just Chad peeked him. Was that like a 2-tap to come through from the Phantom?
Oh, Jesus. It makes me so happy when Artie's playing well, right? You know, he's such an equipped player when he's on. And obviously on this Viper, potential to have so much impact, even without like a whole bunch of frags either. But this game, he's on. He's feeling it right now. And it's going to be Order once again trying to take matters into their own hands, getting all the way in. And while Swirl is ready for it, Techstar is going to get the advantage here. So they're going to have to pick up the pace over towards this B site right now, Dion. Signed is there waiting, but they got at least plenty of utility to keep him back at elbow for the time being.
Yeah, Sign is going to have to get the call to get his teammates over here to assist as well. You've got that Cosmic Divide available for Noz. I wonder if they want to use that for the post plant or early Seekers. Invested in from Tux right now as RDW pops the poison. He takes out Sign. The player advantage for Wildcard looking to go in toward this post plant right now. They're the Seekers. They get a little bit of the near side action, and Tux actually peeked him through. That's dropped into Spike.
Straight into the pit now into a 3-on-3, making a 3-on-2 as Dexter gets one more, but Ninham, he's actually going to be able to find that frag, and now it's a little bit awkward, but RDW, he's on for a 4K here now, Dion, onto the other side. Disco's up close, and now the warning shots are going out for Disco. He's going to be able to equalize here exactly right. One versus one, RDW, but it is going to be an overstep, and Disco, experience above all, as he's going to be able to find it. Order back and hot on the heels of Wildcard, 4-6.
That's actually really good positioning and utility to come through from Order. You could see that the Seekers go on through, get a little bit of information. Tux figures out in the pit where the players are on that reveal. He peeks into Order, and then you've got the combination of Disco getting out that boombot as well, finding a little bit of information where the players are, and then just expecting RDW to go to the back of the site outside of the Viper's pit to go for that peak, and he just gets the finalizing in the round. Order, they gather another round, that it means that they don't have that reset on their economy just yet. They have another purchase round here.
Awkward though if Wildcard pick this one up. You know, they're in such a hot position right now. You know, even if they lose this round, they've still got another buy into the next. They've got a couple of opportunities to win out the half, and a win on the attacking side of Bind is such a big statement, especially when you're facing off against, you know, what could arguably be considered basically from so many different competitions, Order the best team in the region.
Yeah, they are on that pedestal at the moment, looking to be sat on top. But I feel like throughout this tournament right now, just this stage, you know, they were looking immortal previously. Now they've been brought back down to earth, and they are quite vulnerable. We've seen that with them dropping a series. Previously, we've seen them, only maps dropped. We haven't really seen a series lost from them in a BO3 circumstance in a very long time.
All the time. You know, Wildcard made it such a statement to even be able to find that first one, but once again, it's going to be the Cosmic Divide going down. Sign's going to be caught off guard very, very early, but Disco takes matters into his own hands, actually saved up by that Cosmic Divide, but now he's teleported through and nobody's home. Nobody's home right now. He has no idea. Tucks onto the other side, just waiting patiently. Noz is actually gone down into Spike as well, Dion. He was, no! So unfortunate now, looking infrequent, watching, waiting. Ninham just on the other side. They're so split up right now. It's so awkward, infrequent, trying to fire some things, but they're inside. Ninham, how's he found this one right now, Dion?
He's just gone through the teleporter. Go through the teleporter, updraft, tailwinds, trying to do something sneaky. He gets the frag, but look at the time right now. Tux, he can do everything he needs. Sure, oh my lord! He might have just won the round in and of itself with that one at Swirl. 1 versus 2, he finds the first. He needs the frag. Autumn just has to hide here. 2-1 on the clock. The knife's being brought out. Swirl doesn't know. It's been played very well from Order. Oh, but Autumn, it was the jewel in the end.
Jeez, man.
in the half.
These are coming down to the wire every single time.
Actually,
And even look at the money. Look at the money.
yeah, I was about to say the damage done in that previous round. Yes, Order find it, but they're punished for not, you know, balancing out everything previously.
Oh, this is insane, dude. Honestly, like, this is living up to exactly what I was sort of hoping for. The rounds are so back and forth. They're so competitive each time, you know, going down to the wire. 1v1s, you know, no members living on, whatever it might be. Exactly the pressure on top.
Look at this engagement as well. Autumn, every single different round he's peeking over. He's getting antsy with it. This time he will be punished. RDW finds that infrequent. Meanwhile, gathers the orb over at Showers again. Got the Hunter's Fury.
And there's the Blades. Bringing it all the way out. Looking to push forward. Still just sort of pretty apprehensive though right now, despite finding that opening pick. Obviously not wanting to, you know, again, throw their sort of advantage. Pushed all the way up, it's infrequent, just onto the other side of the Showers, and RDW just still holding that position as well, so they will sort of move back in, find their position, and look to reapproach the side accordingly.
I do wonder as well, text up with that Cosmic Divide, you can buy a lot of time and upset the scales in this round. Speaking of which, text up is even in hookah with a judge. Hearing the footsteps of Nim. Got to be very careful though. Remember those blades were activated and they're still here. So then he might be getting a duel here that he somehow just won onto a Texter. That's actually really huge. No stars, no smokes, no Cosmic Divide now. Order, they are hurting in this round.
Tux, if there's ever been a moment to clutch out around, my friend, it is now. There's one, but Ninham straight over the top of that Blade Storm. Going to be able to find a couple of warning shots as well. So it's all onto this 2 versus 2. Certainly a bunch of equipped players to get the job done right now. But Ninham, that's 3. Disco's going to go down to the hands of Infrequent as well. Wildcard on top for this half. 7-5. Incredible stuff to come through.
Really nice timing on the Hunter's Fury as well from Infrequent. Usually you would see a situation like that where you'd hold it for the post plant, see with the tap, but he's gotten the idea that he can go with it in toward the defender spawn. If anyone wants to peek out from Order, they'd already be taking 80 points of damage, or they just go straight into the crosshairs of Ninham. Works wonders in that situation from Wildcard.
So I suppose it's this just time to sort of sit back, relax, have a bit of a think on how they want to approach this pistol round. Looking to do the usual here. Wildcard going to be trying to get aggressive. Find a little bit of extra control of the shower location, but Order do seem to have their early sights sort of set towards this B-long position. However, it doesn't look like Wildcard actually want to sort of get aggressive. Going to push down towards mid, just being the one member. Ninham gets the info, but he's going to fall off straight away.
And Trailblazers is going to go out from Tux. Want to see how active Order are on this offensive side early. If they can gather that pistol, you know, they get the second one, tie things up as well. And then you're going to look to see what Wildcard can do when they get out the guns. But they've already gathered control here of the Showers. Disco is holding back and he gets, well, he gets destroyed.
Oh, Swirl. When he's having a game, you know, one of those guys on the come up. Very clean, very crisp. Straight in. The usual that we see from Autumn, looking to take that U-Haul control. Swirl is onto the other side. Has managed to turn away, but plenty of blinds coming out from both the Breach and the Sky. But Noz getting his way straight back in. That's going to be Texter going down. Tux good for 1, but still alive. We'll be able to get that spike planted down now by Autumn. Tux and Autumn in that position to try and find it. But Swirl brings it all onto just him now. Autumn in a 1 versus 4 and inside the gravity well as well. It's going to be so awkward. Artie!
Oh, no. Yeah, he can't escape from that one, unfortunately. You look at that situation, just in it, of the 2 versus 4. The damage that you see done to the boys on Wildcard, yes, it's there, but you look 2 versus 4, right? Tux has no utility at all. No heals that he can give over towards Autumn, who is just kind of stuck in towards the U-Hole. The gravity well puts him in there, and the Frenzy missing as well. Luckily enough, Wildcard, though, they go to that pistol, Mitch, and that actually really sets them up here to be able to find 9, even 10 if they can get that, you know, sort of bonus round under control.
So looking up aggressive once more. This time, just Ninham. Going to look to go solo. But he's going to have 5 hungry members of Order nice and early on. Trying to go for that early aggression and push. Ninum obviously can utilize the tailwind to get out of there. It's going to be awkward regardless. Trailblazer in on the way through. It's going to be destroyed. Gravity Well to force him back, but he will live on for just a little while. That shock dart though, Dion. That shock dart's got a lot of damage contested into it. There we go. RDW with the first and Frequent with the second, and now onto the other side of the toxic screen. Do they even force through this one? How do they approach the rest of the round? But again,
the
just the eco.
And the Poison Cloud. Sharp shots from Ninim. They're a brick wall at the moment over at the B site. The TP's been heard from Texter, and Noz is just already ready for this. It's good to see that Texter's farmed both of these ultimate orbs, though. He'll get 4, charges on it when he loses his life here. So I guess in the grand scheme of things for Order, they don't really get any damage, but they still do get a little bit of charging up on their ultimates.
Just the main thing, right? Every single member alive in the bonus. They're going to be able to pull through everything possible. RDW is still holding onto the Frenzy. It will appear, could potentially upgrade. Yes, he will. Going to be able to pick up the Judge here. But it's still enough to sort of get the job done. Science had to drop down a little bit just to the Light Shield, but Order obviously in a solid position to really force it forward.
Well, we've had a pistol per side at the moment. 1 apiece. Now it is going to be on a wild card in this bonus round to see if they can convert it. Great to see the farming up of the orb outside C, or B long rather. Does mean that Ninim will be one step closer towards these blades, and he's actually going to look to fall back over toward the A side. And Frequent as well. This is really interesting for this read. I wonder what wild card have in store.
All that control. Really, really aggressive. But I think Swirl, the second he sort of gathers any of this information, they're going to have to make a hard call to head that way over. It's going to be really, really awkward, especially 3 members heading in. The paint shells are available.
Oh, and
Cruise on in now. Yep, immediately. That's the opener. Sight broken. Out of wildcard approach.
Yeah, it's just going to be a case in point of wildcard. What damage can you do in this round? I would say it's a bonus round. You've got no control on toward the site, no ultimates as well. With the lesser weaponry, it's just going to be a little bit difficult. And Frequent's going to send in the drone to see what he can clear out over at elbow. But you've just got all of these cross angles to Order that you would expect them to be superior in holding.
So really just trying to find some extra damage, right? You know, you've got the next round where you can go in, find the full buy. Plenty of good flashes, though. This breach is just so incredibly powerful on a map like this. Autumn straight out. Ninim does find it. But it's going to be very, very clean here. RD, how does he approach the rest? Only just has the Judge. Yep, now Tuck should be able to find this easily. And he will. Prime Vandal getting the job done. 6-9. The wildcard. They have another cheeky little purchase in their back pocket.
4 alive for Order there as well on that bonus round does mean a little bit of the padding of the economy. You just need to see one little repurchase come on the through. Might want to see signed upgrade from those light shields as well. Has a little bit of the extra cash to flourish with, but all of the abilities coming through for both of the sides in this round. And Ninim with the Sheriff, with the shields, with 1 away from the ultimate, you know that he is going to be going and farming up that orb to see if he can get the blades out, because you know how damaging he can be. I'm expecting, though, either a guiding light or a flashpoint over towards long, maybe to just get a little bit of information. The cloud burst is out, though. There's those blades in Order. This is looking a little bit of a similar story from the previous round.
I think the only scary thing about playing a team like Order in this position, right, is their ability to ride the momentum wave, right? If they sort of continue to force forward, break the economy of wildcard a couple of times, they can really force their way forward despite this sort of 3-round disadvantage that they have at the moment. So wildcard need to play everything to perfection, and they are just going to sort of fall their way back off towards the site together, not looking to overstay their welcome inside the showers, and just leaving RDW inside that elbow position. So they're looking like they're pretty happy to just sort of slot 2 towards B at this point in time.
Got to remember as well that all the toxins here for RDW are at the A site right now. The toxic screen goes up. He's still got the poison cloud as well. Snake bites available when needed. Swell, though, with the flash comes on through.
Is it enough?
Punished, though. Texter, he's able to find that one. Tux was able to open up as well. And this round is going absolutely swimmingly for Order. They can invest the Seekers if they want to, but I don't think they need to right now. It's just Infrequent and Ninim to see what they can gather back.
Don't even know if that keen on going for it either, right? This is what we spoke about. Order are just so good at moving in as a unit, confident to check each other's angles for them, but oh, Ninim, always super dirty on those shots here. Infrequent will be spotted out. We'll be able to get the recon bolt down, though. So really, we can just hope that Ninim finds a couple of things, and you don't want to get too much for him. He can always find these frags in this position, and even if he just takes sort of 2 more weapons, even 1 more away from the members, it's going to be good damage to be found. But Texter gets the jumping headshot, and Order bring it down to 2 rounds the difference, and it should be 1 if they're successful here. 8 should be around the corner off the back of Wildcard's bite.
So now, I guess for Wildcard, really, they lost the bonus. They lost their next rifle round. Going to be taking a little bit of a backhand in this one. Down to these Sheriffs, only the single rifle for Ninim. Of course, making sure that the purchase will be here for Wildcard in the next round. It's going to be Autumn bringing up the blades this time. Infrequent getting out the Hunter's Fury. That's a sharp shot from Disco, but RDW, Mitch, he started off onto Ninim. Onto Autumn, rather. That's those blades gone.
Well, both the Jets down immediately, right? In a position. Ninim obviously did have the Vandal available as well. That was the only purchase that did come out from the side of Wildcard that was anything sort of worth chatting about. Disco's going to be dropped very early by the Bladestorm as well. Sorry, by the Hunter's Fury. Oh, Jesus. Losing my mind a little bit. The shock dart, that's the one, the chocolate dart.
Here we go.
Very. Oh, look at this.
Spike planted.
Right on the line. Swirly, just onto the opposing side of it. Doesn't really need to collect much, but look at how low Disco. Oh, he's trapped right into the corner. 17 points of HP on the other side of the Toxins.
I wonder.
It's going to be such a hard defense for Order.
Is RDW going to still clear this angle right now? The Toxins have faded on through. There goes the Cloud as well. Wildcard, they're taking a lot of time, but Noz has just reamed Disco from the site itself. Sign is going to be getting out the Aftershock to do something. There's Hunter's Fury as well. Wildcard, lots of investments here. RDW finds Sign down. It's onto Texter. It's onto Tux as well. Tux is down. Texter looking to showcase here. The defuse is coming on through. One through the screen in toward the Classic, and is getting some damage, but Swirl gets it in the... What was this round, though? This was so confusing.
I lost my words very clearly as well, right? And I'm simply going to blame it on what was actually occurring in that round. You got Swirl basically hugging the line on the side of the Cosmic Divide. Both the Jets down at the very start of the round off the back of some Sheriff shots. And, oh, man, it is insane what we're witnessing
that was
right
an eco.
now. And exactly. Full eco, only what? Just the one Vandal, which did nothing. Except for the hands, when it went into the hands of our RDW later in the round. But, oh, God, it's just super, super clean from Wildcard right now. Order do have another buy behind them, but it's going to be tough.
Just the resilience and fortitude for Wildcard in a round such as that as well. You just know that individually these players are all still extremely capable, regardless of what weapon they have in their possession. And, well, for Ninim right now, he's just going to have to get out of dodge. He's still got this operator, which I believe is still going to be silent. Hasn't gotten a shot out with it, and we haven't seen him pick it up on this defensive side just yet.
No, not at all. That's a good shot, though, Autumn. Very, very hard to play that offensive-sided operator on a map like Bind, but now Disco should be able to collect one more, but he's going to be traded. RDW, Mr. Consistent in this game right now. I am so glad to see him up on top. He's got a third here as well, Dion. This could be a solo hold from RDW.
There's
lonesome. He's picked up more. Go for the ace, my friend. Not quite. It's not going to matter. Signed into 1 versus 3 right now, but he has to rotate straight through those teleporters, and this is going to be a tough retake regardless for Wildcard. He should be able to get that spike plant down.
I wonder, is the operator still in possession here for Ninim as well? No, it's actually switched on over in towards IDW's gun that has found 4 frags in the round. The Rolling Thunder, though, for Signed. I wonder if he's just going to use it to keep them back at the spawn, and if he's going to peek in with it. He's got the Aftershock on the fault line, but there we go. That's going to impact both of them, I do believe. Yep, they're just elevated on the back of it, and now Signed charging on through to clear the correct angle. There's the first one. Now it's on towards Ninim. This could be a massive round from RDW, but brought back by Signed. More time being bought just by that Aftershock. Eventually, now he can push on through.
Way.
But there's, remember, Mitch, there's no reconnaissance available for the Ninim right now. He's on the jet.
He's got to try and force his way in. The time is ticking now down to that below 10 seconds, almost onto the defuse, looking to get it to half. Is he just going to stick it, though? He's looked off right now, inside the Cloudburst, onto the other side. Sign's giving his position away, but will he be able to hold it? Will he be able to hold it? He will, and that is an incredible 1v3 to come out from Sign. You've got to be hurting if you're RDW right now.
Yeah, that's just a really massive round from RDW, but even a bigger one from Sign. It doesn't really matter that he's found lesser kills in that, like RDW found 4. He's just won out the round in a 1 versus 3 on the breach, where he hasn't really had, you know, too many frags be seen in toward this game on that Order's side. Yes, he's gotten those assists. Yes, he's doing everything that he needs to help the team. But you put a round like that on someone's shoulders who is at the bottom of the scoreboard, it just gives them so much more self-confidence, boosts them back in toward this game extremely so. And again, that just kickstarts Order. They've got more weaponry to be able to play with for this round. And Wildcard, they're on the Sheriffs. I still wouldn't count them out, though. We've already seen shenanigans.
The previous rounds. Yeah, no, the pressure is certainly starting to amount to them right now. You know, we spoke about it, how well Order can play from behind, regardless of the pressure. You know, that's what happens when you've got all these worlds of experience under your belt, you know, signed really deep into that Overwatch scene. Tex the Tux, best in the world. Well, not really, but, you know, I'm going to call them the best in the world because OCE on top from the Counter-Strike days. It's just super good across the board.
He is behind them right now. Might be able to find this little one duel on towards Autumn, finding the gun. Now it's just the impact that he can do with this rifle as well. Has the little light shields, but not expecting Signed in the cave through that teleporter. And look at him, he's got the knife out as well. Oh. All right, Signed gets the frag. It's okay. It's okay.
It's still good. It's still good. Pressure now onto the remaining members of Wildcard. But again, look, just in this eco position. Happy to sort of take the knee in the round, refocus, recompose, but Order just continuing to stack up that economy. It makes it harder and harder for Wildcard to really claw their way through to these next three more rounds is what they need to take into map number 2, right? With the early advantage, knocking Order into the lower bracket, they need to continue this run of sort of statement making, I guess.
Last player standing.
Well, it's just the executions to come through from Tux right now. One away from a 4K in the round with Ninum creeping up in towards Elbow. It's good to see that Order aren't dropping too many players in a round such as this as well. You know, a little bit of an upset in that round previously where it was those Sheriffs to come through from Wildcard, a couple of yeehaws. But right now, it brings it within one, essentially, as Ninum, well, he gets one known as Disco fluffs a bunch of shots. Takes there to clean it up. Within one, as I do say now, and it's going to be the time for Order to see if they can equalize us.
All right, well needed. I was going to say, this is the time where it needed to come out for Wildcard. Very, very wise. And I guess, Dion, you know, we can use this time to sort of break down what we've actually been seeing, right? You know, it's a game and it's a position. At the very, very start of this map, we saw how really one-sided Bind was. You know, it was super challenging to really sort of find the force, the way up on the attacking side. But as these teams develop, as the metas change, it can be so hard to defend some of these positions. You know, the Astra, the Sky makes it super challenging. And obviously Order with that breach pickup as well. It's just been so good. And oh man, it's been beautiful to witness how well they've actually been able to sort of recover their position, right? Wildcard leading out the half 7-5, yet the fact is Order are not out. Order are in fact behind them, the momentum. They have it right now.
Yeah, Order, they are starting to swim down that channel, but Wildcard, they're looking to put a couple of bumpy rocks along the way. Looking to scrape, looking to crawl at Order and see what's going to happen. I'm really just interested to see the sort of conversion coming into this next round as well, right? Order, they only have the one ultimate in the Cosmic Divide readily available at the moment, and just looking up at the numbers, Tux one away from the Seekers, gathered for some great information, but over on the side of Wildcard, right, their defensive area, if RDW just pops the poison, Toxic Pit rather, or Viper's Pit, English is a struggle, that's just a deterrent straight away for Order.
It is all toxic, it's fine. We understand. Immediate Viper's Pit down towards short though. Seeing it utilized at the start of the round is going to force them back, make it really sort of strugglesome, allowing much heavier of a stack to be over towards that B site right now. Spike is dropped outside A, waiting to see if anything will sort of force its way down, but RDW is going to be playing a very passive route to start it off.
The investment that Order will have to give in toward this Viper's Pit as well would actually be quite large. You've already seen that the Trailblazer from Tux was used down through B long, which means they have to go in with, what, guiding lights. They've got no Sova the likes of to be able to chuck a dart or an owl drone in there as well. So if they still maneuver over towards this A site, they're going to have to clear RDW first, or they're going to have to one-dimensionally go through showers, and that's just a gigantic funnel that you would expect Wildcard to sort of capitalize upon. And now that you've got this flank coming through from Ninum, it just makes things a little bit more difficult for Order.
Oh no, that is so uncharacteristic from Ninum. He's managed to take Order down, down very, very low, but man, that's going to be the overgrowth to come out, and that's going to be surely a bit of a change of pace up towards his position. Swell, he's blinded. Your guiding light can come out a couple of times, but now that's going to make it really awkward. The Seekers to go through now as well. Swell needs to connect the shot. He's going to be able to find the first, make that a second as well. Still the one-man army towards this position, but Infrequent is there as well. And now it's all in the Tux inside a 1 versus 4, and he surely just saves it at this point in time.
Uncharacteristic, as you say, from Ninum losing out those duels in the very beginning. But it's on the team, on
seconds
Swirl. 2 flashes to go out, 2 kills, and I think that Trailblazer might have just spotted Tux as well. The near sight, though, maybe it was just out of reach, and Frequent caught 1 frag in the round, which means for all of the ultimate orbs that he's been charging up, he's now got the Hunter's Fury as well. Not a single ult, rather, used for Wildcard in this round, bar that toxic Viper's Pit, rather. So they've still got the 3 to play with. Order, their investment in that round of the Cosmic Divide, of Tux using those Seekers after he got the frag, or the orb over at Showers, I do believe, rather, means that Wildcard are poised pretty well right now, Mitch, for this 12th round.
An important position. It looks like we are going to see Ninum go for that orb nice and early on. Doesn't look like there's going to be any contest either. Appears that Order, very, very early on, going to be heading over towards this A position. They're going to get aggressive. Off the back of the Trailblazer, is anything going to be able to be spotted? Swirl did so fantastically in the previous round.
Well, look at this, all this prettiness around the side as well. You've got the birds going in, you've got all the smokes that everyone can contain, you've got the Hunter's Fury now coming out from Infrequent with Blades of Ninum as well, a scary prospect. Look at the charge ult, though, that comes through that. 280 points of damage delivered, no shields for 2 of those players that were hit. The regrowth can come on through just to get a little bit of heals on out. Tux, though, this isn't a flank. He's looking to see what he can get done in toward the Showers. How do you do to RDW? Flash on through, a minute still to play with. And Wildcard, they don't really have control of this site.
Sitting back. Despite having this position, they don't want to overstay their welcome. And Nos is going to be shouldered out as well. Perfectly poised by Order in this position. Swirl looking to make his way around, though. Disco just on the opposing side. Swirl needs to make sure he checks this line if he's going to make his way out, but I don't think he will. He actually does in the end. Quick on the reactions from Swirl. He's going to be able to drop 1, and that makes it a 4-on-40 on.
Could see the Seekers be invested here as well to find all the information, as the other Blades are going to be popped out here by Autumn this time. Do you see Ninum look to clear out the U-hole? There goes in the Dart, there goes in the Seekers. He can get some right clicks out here as well with that near side on towards Texas. There's the click. 6 points of HP still to play with. The right click actually misses from Autumn. He gets held W by Infrequent. More trades to see in the round. RDW gets tucked through the boxes and is able to find sign. RDW is having a game, I've got to say, and Wildcard as a team, as a unit, they find 12.
This is insane, man, honestly. Look at RDW and look at everyone, really. You know,
3 of them on 20.
Absolutely doing their part. Infrequent 14 assists. And look, Noel's sure he's having a quiet one, but it's the Astra, right? The Astra's just all that matters is about the utility. Trying to establish those opening picks, obviously creating the space. And man, Wildcard playing this to absolute perfection, looking to take it to 13 now. That will be obviously the victory coming through for them in map number 1, but Order not done just yet. It's not the best buy. It's a little bit scroungy. They've had to sort of dig deep to actually get all the weapons in, but now Ninum's playing that counter flash, and he's actually going to be able to find the first. What an opening here on the signs.
Very smart as well, playing counter flash as soon as that comes on through. The tendencies of Orders showing. He's able to find the open, and now it's onto Infrequent with this line. It already damage is delivered. There's the first one. Swirl as well finds Autumn as he tailwinds in toward the site. We are looking at map point. A beautiful flash to come on through. A missed shot from Ninum. Another flash, however, a little bit preemptive.